What's up, guys? Welcome to Jimmy Comics. You're watching The Question, The Deaths of Vic Sage.
Issue 3.
Number 3. My name is Riley.
I'm Wyatt.
So Wyatt and I have been covering this so far. There's 4 books.
This is the third one.
I think originally there were supposed to be 3. And I was like, the first one I was like, this is the first of 3.
Yeah, probably. I think they extended it.
Yeah, apparently Mr. Lemire needed 4.
And I think that it was well worth it because
Me
this
too.
one was awesome. So to recap, the first issue is Vic Sage just basically being a reporter, and he does the Question persona.
He's a personal investigator.
Yeah, he does that to get
Private
scoops and stuff.
investigator, I mean.
And he's investigating this warehouse, and there's some occult stuff going on, and something happens, and he wakes up in the Wild West, and he's got a gun, and he's like a dude in a town, and that town, because it's the 1800s, there's some racism involved, and they won't sell a man an axe for his skin color, but the Question buys an axe for him.
Completely forgot about that. Thank you.
He did that, and then they framed that man for murder with said axe.
Did you watch our episode?
No,
Okay.
I just remember.
I just thought like that would have been a good idea.
Yep. So they do that, and he ends up running away, trying to help them escape. The man and his wife, and they both get killed by a mob. And he is rescued from the same fate by this Native American woman, and she does a spirit walk stuff with him about the occult stuff. And the priest who was in that town is one of the occult leaders, basically. Like, he's this being that's traveling with him through all these areas.
Yeah.
And taunting him, basically.
The man with 1,000 faces.
Yep, the man with 1,000 faces. And with each issue, the face gets pieced together more at the very end. And the art is really good in this book, in this series.
Yeah. So it's like an oversized type book. It's not a regular comic. It's a magazine like the Batman Damned and Harleen series. So it is like $6.99 cover price. But like Wyatt was saying, the art's really good. It's by Dennis Cowan does pencils, and Bill Sienkiewicz does the inks. And I just now noticed this, but I think Sienkiewicz improves the art quite a bit.
Yeah, he does.
Especially with faces.
Because if in the back it has pencils
And inks, and you can kind of see the faces are, like, especially female faces. I don't feel like Cowan does such a hot job with female faces. I think they look kind of brutish.
Yeah.
But the story here is that Margaret Fuller shows up.
Yeah, we're out of the Wild West now, and he's woke up as a 1930s, maybe earlier than that. He's a private eye in Hub City, and Maggie Fuller is looking for her brother, who's disappeared 3 days ago, and he was very active in wanting to form unions, and they're both factory workers, she and her brother, and so she thinks that the bosses have done something to take him away, maybe killed him, and wants to know. So our friend, the Question,
he gets beaten up in a back alley.
Yeah, because he's looking for him, and they basically tell him to back off. Nothing happened to the Fullers.
I love this page. It's a really cool page.
And the Question, after he gets
I don't know if you noticed this, but there's a headline that says "Our Man Cracks Counterfeit Ring in Gotham."
Mm-hmm.
That was he was one of the heroes in the JSA, so the time period fits.
Yeah, that is really cool. I didn't notice that.
Yeah.
But this is right before World War II, because in one of these things it says turmoil brews in Europe as Hitler advances. So yeah, go to the part where he gets beat up, because he actually beats them up. Is that here or later?
So he's getting the crap kicked out of him.
Yeah, and then
Richard Dragon shows up in his little wheelchair.
Yeah, and he's
like, Vic, beat them up.
Yeah, and he remembers all his Richard Dragon martial arts.
And he beats them all up. And then he meets with this cop.
every cop in Hub City is basically corrupt except this one, and he talks about how he slipped a file away from the detectives. And it's basically the elite of Hub City, all the richest men on the file. They're the ones who are putting down these unions, and he's
got a whole wall of them here.
He's trying to find them, but he calls to warn Maggie because if he got beat up, and he's pretty sure her brother's dead, but she doesn't answer. And he meets her mom at her apartment, the address she told him to call, and she tells him that Maggie is leading a strike. Basically, there's a full strike, riots going on, and then there's this cool page where he's remembering his past experiences, like his past lives.
He's getting flashes of different time periods.
So there's from issue 2, when in the Wild West, and the mayor is here.
He gets beaten in the head.
Beaten in the head with a rock. He goes, "Fuck!" and and basically tells all the cops to beat the crap out of everyone, and they take Maggie away in a van.
Yep.
And so he tracks her down. Like he follows where the police take her, and it's not to the police station. It's the same warehouse from issue 1 that he was investigating, and it's the satanic occult stuff. And everyone who was the elite of Hub City is in attendance. So
yeah.
And they take him and put him in this cell with a bunch of skeletons,
which is kind of similar to what we saw before in issues 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
But he starts to remember that his real name is Charlie Victor Zaz.
Mm-hmm. And he finds Maggie, and
she stabs him.
She stabs him, yeah. And she starts morphing because she's the man with 1,000 faces. He can change his form. So, Maggie's dead. Like, the real Maggie is dead.
Mm-hmm.
And he gives him his question mask, and then he wakes up again in a room with Richard Dragon.
He's basically been doing some really potent pot.
Yeah, pretty much. He's been doing some spirit walking, and there's this. I love this page and the other with the face getting pieced together again.
Yeah. You probably don't know this, but this little jumbled face is like peak Sienkiewicz. That's like his thing. He likes to do.
And that's the end.
This has been a super trippy series. I'm not like a huge question fan, but if you were, like, this goes through probably every single origin that the question has had, because he's kind of like Hawkman and all those people, like they keep rewriting it over time. So this kind of takes everything and makes it count and makes it matter. So I really hope that the question can be a bigger part in the DC universe somehow.
He's very underrated.
That's a really good character. I think it would do well if they would give him his own series. But I mean, like, what's his name? John Constantine. He gets his own book all the time. So I think the question would do well.
I think so too. I mean, he was good enough to be the star of 52, basically.
Yeah.
Like his story, and then passing it on to Renee Montoya. Brilliant. And he's back now in the continuity.
Yeah.
Like he came back after dying. Because in comic books, one is never truly gone.
But I am super excited for book 4.
As am I. I want to see the ending.
I know that's going to be good. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you next time for book 4.
Bye-bye, everyone.